family. This is Cassandra Faye Floyd, otherwise known as the daughter of the Fates, also known as the Rogue Black Girl, formerly known as Iapo Moyende Ngina. It has been a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks, since I've done a live, and that has been for a reason because, you know, I've needed some time, I think it's going around. This last week has been really insane energetically. And we're here on the almost eve of this full moon. And the last week was kind of crazy in terms of like occurrences. I received several phone calls last week um, that were just kind of, I don't know, shocking and random. And I got a phone call from a woman who I haven't spoken to or seen her face since 1999. And it wasn't like a, hey, Cassandra, just wanted to call and check up type of call. It was, my life is falling apart. What the hell is wrong with me? I didn't know who to call type of call. It was bizarre, but that happened 4 times last week. And so I've just needed some time, child. Like those of us who have taken it upon ourselves to function in the world as healers. And I mean that in any sense of the word. So people who know me know that I have a very broad spectrum of people that I identify as healers: readers, seers, singers, songwriters, musicians, artists, graffiti artists, dancers, laying of hands, and then, like the healing arts themselves, herbs, acupuncture, Chinese medicine, like myself, So for me, the spectrum of those identified as healers is huge. I want to take a minute for those of you who are tuning on via Facebook. I'm doing this live via Facebook and YouTube, but I would greatly, greatly appreciate it if you would go to YouTube and watch this live, so I can get my watch hours up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get my numbers up. I'm trying to make these dudes pay me. You feel me? So anyway, then I got a call yesterday, and the call was from a friend who wanted me to pull cards for him. So I also read tarot, among other things. Let me just start by saying that my day started. I got up very early this morning. I was awakened from a dream, or by a dream that I had that was extraordinarily vivid, like crazy brilliant and vivid. And like, your mama, when you do something and she has to jog your memory, so she tap you in the forehead. You know what I'm talking about. Like, that's how the dream was this morning, right? And it was like spirit reminding me, like, bitch, this is who you are. And it seems that you have forgotten that you have let the noise of your life, you've let the noise of your life have you forget who you are, right? And so for the longest time, I have functioned in the world as a healer. 9.5 years in medical school, the spectrum of medicine through which I have studied and practiced and learned from others is extremely broad. Western, Eastern, and quote, all other alternative forms of medicine. That's been, in the last period, who I have presented as in the world. This is like other people's frame of reference for who I am. And that has changed given, whatever period people have met me in, right? So that period, there have been periods where people have primarily identified me, and I have projected myself as, you know, a revolutionary activist. That was a huge chunk of my adult life as a revolutionary activist. That's all right. This period has been, you know, Iapo, Cassandra, as the healer. That's okay. That's fine. Right. But baby, this dream that I had this morning that woke me up out of a stone cold coma was like the essence of the dream was brilliant. It was beautiful. It was just a shocking reminder. And it's something that I have been debating about. People who know me close, people who are close to me here where I am. It's something that I have been like attempting to tip my toe into for over a year. I've been threatening for almost 2 years. Tip my toe, tip my toe, I'll tip my toe and then I'll retreat. I'll tip my toe and then I'll retreat. And Spirit woke me up today loudly. Bitch, you are an artist. You have always been an artist. Cassandra, you are a singer. You have always been a singer. Cassandra, you are a musician. You have always been a musician. And those things that your heart has desired the most throughout your entire life are the things that you have put away, are the things that you act timid about approaching. Those things that can have, oh my God, the most impact on those that you have been trying to reach through other mediums. Child, y'all ain't hearing what God told me this morning. You understand me? Spirit was like, all this work, all this effort, all this force, all this pushing that you have been doing for years and years and years, attempting to communicate an idea, attempting to communicate a vision, attempting to communicate all the possibilities through these mediums that you have been forcing and forcing. Now, don't get me wrong. I love medicine. I do. I do. I love activism. I wouldn't have done it as long as I have if I didn't, right? I love, baby, I love medicine. It is beautiful. And for a long time, it has fulfilled in me the longing that the artist in me has had. It has, because Chinese medicine in particular is an art. I mean that, not in a figurative sense. It is beautiful. It is amazing in its ability to help me solve complicated ideas that politics alone could not solve, that historical analysis alone could not solve. So I have been extremely happy, satisfied for a long time in my role as a healer through the art of Chinese medicine. But I have been anxious. The longing has crept up again. And I, for the longest time now, have suppressed and I have suppressed and suppressed and suppressed that longing because I'm a grown up, right? I'm 47 years old, right? All of these excuses that I have used to suppress this deep, unending, long-standing longing, right? This secret heart's desire that I have had since I was a little girl, right? And so I woke up this morning from this dream. Oh my, it was so vivid, baby. It was in the dream. In the dream, I was recalling things that I had forgotten, pieces of work that I had produced in my teen years, in my early teen years that are long since gone, that were, my mother threw away when I moved out of the house, pieces of work that I put whole portions of my heart into that were forever gone. They were in my mind today as clear as if I produced them yesterday. Anyway, I won't go that deep into the dream, but the essence of the dream that woke me up out my bed as early as it did and had me on one, and then something else happened, and that's why I'm here today. But I got up early on one. So I'm like, today, I don't care what is happening in the world. I am doing nothing but producing art today. I'm going to light my candles. I'm going to set the stage. I'm going to produce art today, baby. Right? I'm going to play music today while I'm producing this art. I'm going to sing out loud today while I produce this art, right? And for those of you who have not known me a long time, or who have not known me long enough to know what I'm talking about in terms of these stages of my life, I started playing the saxophone when I was 8 years old, right? But I am the product of genius. My mother is a genius and an artist. My father is a genius and an artist. My father, the musician, my mother, the artist, right? And then back and back and back on both sides. I am the descendant of artists, right? And so even though I started playing the saxophone at 8, I was still producing physical art younger than that, like actual art, right? And I went to college. Before I went to college to become a doctor, I got a full scholarship, two music scholarships, full rides to a community college and subsequently to a fine arts college, where I majored in music. I majored in music composition. I got knocked up and was convinced that there was no way for me to finish school pregnant as a single mother. And so I quit school and became, quote, a working class stiff. I have a background in interior design. Well, I say a background because my places have always been fly, but I did a 2-year apprenticeship in interior design under a woman who was a professional interior designer, right? So art shaped my existence for the first quarter of my life, right? And then once I started buying into the narrative that as a single parent, raising a child by myself, that these were not areas that were going to afford me the ability to make a decent living, I packed them all up and tucked them all away and began a pursuit of, quote, real jobs for real grown-ups. And here I am today, being awakened by a dream at 5 o'clock in the morning that everything you need already exists if you unpack the box and put the things within the box on full display, girl. Unpack the box and put these things on full display, and the things that you need, the things that you desire, the things that you envision needing to fulfill your life's purpose will unfold and arrive easily, not forcefully, not effortfully, easily. So now I'm going to side note. So after I woke up on one, like today, I'm the artist, Cassandra the artist today, baby, Cassandra the singer today, baby, Cassandra, the musician today. I woke up on one, got in my bag, and before I even got started producing my first piece, I got a phone call about a reading that I had promised I was going to do last night. So I pulled 3 cards for this person last night. And then before I got started, I was like, let me go ahead and get this out of the way and tell this person what the cards have revealed. Okay. And baby, let me tell you, the way I approach reading for others, because it's how it happens. And I don't know if this is for everybody that does readings, but for me, I know that every time I pull a card, or every time I throw a shell, or every time, I divine in whatever way that is fitting for that person in the moment, there is something there for me too. Spirit is like, tap, 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 bitch, this for you too. Like you can give them what they need, but this for you too, right? It happens all the time. Okay. And so I am reminded, and hence the title of this. I know it was a very long intro, sorry, but hence the title of this live, which is If You Had Only 10 Minutes, What Would You Say? Now, I'm going to tell you why I titled that. I am a master multitasker, as most people know. I am a Virgo with a Capricorn moon and a Gemini rising child. I am a master multitasker, okay? To a fault, all right? But one of the things that I am always, at least recently, I've been interested in for a long time is, and this is me sharing, probably oversharing, but I want to do a TED Talk eventually. I already have the idea that I think is radical and amazing and mind blowing and shit. And I watch a lot of TED Talks. So I came across an ad on Facebook that was from this guy. I cannot remember his name. If I recall his name, so this is me giving credit. If I recall his name, I will put it in the link below in my YouTube page. For those that are tuning in on my Facebook page, I still do Facebook Lives, but I would really prefer you to tune in on my YouTube channel so I can get my watch hours up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe so I can go ahead and make these people start paying me. Okay? Please tune in on my YouTube channel. There should be a link that you're able to follow where you can go to my YouTube channel and watch this live on YouTube. Thank you. Okay, so I got a Facebook ad, and this guy was talking about how to. Oh, and for those who do not have the link, my YouTube channel is just YouTube Cassandra Faye Floyd. Cassandra Faye Floyd. You still may be able to. I think you're still able to YouTube Iapo IYAPO NGINA Iapo and Gina. Either one of those should take you to my homepage on my YouTube channel and you can watch live. Okay. So this guy, whose name I cannot recall, I will attach later, had an ad for basically him teaching you how to get yourself a TED Talk. And it was an hour-long workshop that was actually pretty informative, actually pretty good. But baby, let me just tell you, he's talking logistically about the steps that you have to go through and the things that you should consider when organizing and attempting to do a TED Talk, the application process, how to develop your topic, how to come to the conclusion of whether or not your topic is going to be something that hits, right? All the little logistical things. It was a really good, if you see this ad, I see it a ton of times on Facebook. If you see the ad, take the little workshop. It's like an hour long, but it's good, right? And it's good like for other things too. So anyway, there was a statement that this guy made that was so profound to me. Of all the gems, I took about 3 pages of notes during this dude's workshop. But of all the gems that this dude dropped in this workshop, this one thing he said has stayed with me for a week. And then it came up again today when I was doing this dude's reading. Okay. He said, this is a quote. He said, when thinking about, he called the process standing on the mountain or viewing from the mountain or something to that effect. Okay. And he said, imagine yourself when developing your idea, when developing the content and the title of your idea, imagine yourself standing on a mountain and you're on this mountain and you can see all the way around you. And at the bottom of this mountain is everybody in the world. Okay. All 8 billion people are at the base of this mountain and you can see them all and they can all see you. And in this view that you have from the top of the mountain, all you have is 10 minutes. Okay? He's like, you have a message that spirit has imparted on you that can change the world, that can change the way the world sees everything. But you only have this view from the mountain, this opportunity to reach all 8 billion people on the planet, and you only have 10 minutes to do it. What would you say in those 10 minutes? Child, that shit blew my wig off. I was like, so simple, so simply put, but so deeply profound. And the reason that is profound is for obvious reasons. He's talking about a TED Talk and developing a topic that can have the furthest reach and have the greatest impact. And that's awesome, right? But can you, and this is why it came up in this reading today. So I have a deck called the Medicine Woman deck, right? And this is the book that goes with the Medicine Woman deck. It is the Medicine Woman Inner Guide book for the Medicine Woman Tarot deck. And I love this deck. I have several decks. I have, I think, 4 or 5 decks. And they're all very nice. But this one is like alive, right? And so I've been reading from this deck for about 7 years now, I think. But anyway, one of the cards, the first card that I pulled for this person is called the Healing card. Okay, I'll show you the card for those that are looking on Facebook and then for those that are looking on YouTube. This is the Healing card. Its equivalent, as you'll see here on the side, is the Strength card in the traditional deck. Okay, and you see the woman standing there with the baby and the animals at her side and the animals at the background, and everybody's attention is on this woman. Okay. And so the energy for this card, so this deck I really love, and I love the way it's laid out. The major arcana, and this card is a major arcana, the number 8 card. This in the book, each major arcana comes with a self-questioning exercise, among other things, meditations, an exercise that you can do, an affirmation, and what the essence of the card is trying to communicate to you, right? And this particular person is extremely empathetic. Empathetic in a way that is not so that doesn't serve him very well. He is wide open, and he is more wide open to the negative than he is to the positive, right? And so the essence of this card, there's a quote here that says, I have rejected those things that interfere with my main purpose in life, right? And I've rejected those things that interfere with my main purpose in life. And I have seen how my talents and my abilities, my deep felt longings and soul needs can all work together for my highest good, right? My power is the power of my caring ways, right? My power is the power of my caring ways. And my sexual life creative energy is channeled through the thoughts which I dwell upon toward the upliftment of others in the service of the one, in the service to the one. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a second. But the other aspect of this card, the self-questioning exercise, is what would happen if I stopped complaining, child? What would happen if I stopped complaining? I hope y'all are walking with me. I take y'all on walks before I get to the point, but they're leading to the point. What would happen if I stopped complaining? The card says then my gifts, my talents, my sexual energy, my life energy, my creative energy all becomes channeled through an instrument that is used to uplift the whole in the service to the one, baby. But you can't do that if all of that energy that you have, all of those experiences that you have, all of that evolution that you have experienced, and you are focusing on the negative. You are channeling that energy instead of uplifting the whole through the service of the to the service of the one. You are using all of that wonderful, vibrant energy to focus on those things which no longer should impact your life. The negative, the trigger responses of the traumatized you that no longer exist, that's not supposed to exist anymore. You understand? And so this is an ongoing conversation that I've had with this person because, it's a part of the deconstruction. It is a process, right? So a few months ago, and I did a live on this a few months ago. He and I talked, and he told me about this experience that he had where he was at a store, and this person, he didn't speak to the person, didn't say nothing to the person, but as they were passing through the door, the person stopped and was like sizing him, right? Sizing him up and down, and like on some cocky shit, right? And was like, I ain't scared of you. And instead of responding, he just walked off, right? But he said, Yapo, my knee jerk response was to want to go to battle, go to war, defend myself, bow up, right? And so in his mind, the non response, like just looking away and going about his life, the non response in his mind was, evidence of growth, that he didn't knock this person out or bow up with this person or whatever. And going back to, if you had 10 minutes to change the world, baby, what would you say? What would you do? And in that moment that I talked to him, then I said, you have to realize these knee-jerk trigger responses are the responses, the remnants of an old you. That you existed that way because it had to protect itself, to preserve itself. The injured child, the gay man who always had to defend his beingness in space because someone was always going to challenge him based on how he presented in the world. And so he always had to have his guard up. He always had to be in defense mode. I said, that you does not exist anymore. And so today I'm telling them the evidence that you do not need to descend into trigger responses anymore is the fact that you stay shrouded in the protection of your ancestors, in the protection of spirit, and the evidence of which is your life. Look at how wonderful your life is. Look at all the magic that has unfolded in the 3 years that we've known each other in your life. Magic continues to unfold right before your eyes, effortlessly, all the time. But you still stay triggered by injured human beings. I said, and so the evidence of growth is not you walking away from this person. If you go, because I said, baby, those people are still going to be attracted to you. Those injured, hurt people, those unevolved people, they're still going to be attracted to you because you produce light, you see, and they're going to be attracted to that. Their conscious mind may still be antagonistic or what have you, but their spirit sees something in you that it needs. Now it becomes your responsibility, baby, as an evolved person, as an enlightened human being, to say in a moment, you only have 2 choices in every moment, in every meeting, with every person. And this is hard shit to sit with sometimes, but you only have 2 options. If you say you about that life, if you say you're enlightened, if you say you are evolving in real time, right? If you say that you are stepping forward into the great leap that we are attempting to make as human beings into the future, you only have 2 options. In every moment, picture yourself, the person sitting atop the mountain, where all the people of the world are sitting at the bottom of the mountain, waiting for you to open your mouth, baby. And when you open your mouth in these situations, are you affirming in the hurt? Are you affirming in the sick? Are you affirming in the not yet enlightened that the world is terrible, that it's awful, that we're not going to win, that the future is dismal and gray and dark? Or are you going to plant a singular seed of hope that transforms that human being? Those are the only options that we have. There's no neutral. Him walking off and not saying anything, spirit reached out to him in that moment. He don't recognize that. But that's how we have to see what's happening in the world. If there's no coincidences, there's no, you know, there's just no coincidences. Everything is purposeful. Everything is divine timing. Everything. And if that is the case, and you say you believe that, what is the evidence in your action that you believe that? In every moment, in every contact with every person that we meet, in every situation, to visualize ourselves, baby, as the person atop the mountain who has the 10 minutes that has the potential to change the whole world. What do we say? What do we do in that moment? What do we do? You understand? And so I told him in that moment with the person that uninstigated was like, I ain't afraid of you. Your response could have been, this is what I told him. Your response could be from now on, when these kinds of situations happen seemingly out of nowhere, you don't have anything to be afraid of in me, brother, sister, whatever. You don't have anything to fear from me. Peace be with you. Have a wonderful day. Whatever. Something as simple as that is a seed. Something as simple as that rejects what they think in their mind is a hopeless situation, is a doomful future, is a world where human beings cannot be trusted, where we are not safe in space with one another. A simple word, babe, becomes a seed that in this period is guaranteed to take root, right? I hope I'm being clear in the connection that I'm making with these three scenarios that I've laid out. How I woke up this morning, this reading that this person asked me to do, and this lecture that I watched about how to do a TED Talk. You understand? They're connected. They're connected. Spirit's like, look, we ain't got no time to waste. You understand? Earth, our mother, stands out in the universe, baby, in the known universe. This planet, our planet, stands out as a giant among the universe. And whether we are aware of it or not, conscious of it or not, the universe is watching to see how we respond, how we behave, how we evolve, how we move forward. Now, I'm convinced that we are in a test to rejoin not only the global family, but the universal family, the universal community. That's my position. And that the reason we can't see nothing else, we can't see nobody else, we can't see nothing else, can't hear nobody else, is because we still have the veil over our eyes because we have not yet emerged. The veil that we all come here with, we all incarnate with, our mother's veil. We're in the womb and we're in the dark, and we can hear things around us, and we can see light and dark in her womb, and we can feel everything our mother feels, happiness and sadness, highs and lows, right? Running in stillness, play and rest. We're still like hyper impacted by all those things that we cannot see. This is us. This is our experience right now, right? But it's not until we move past the veil of our mother's womb, you understand, that we see that we've always been surrounded by others. We've always been surrounded by other energy, right? We've always been surrounded by millions and millions and millions of other people's thoughts and their impact on our life and so on and so forth. And I believe as human beings, this is where we are. We are protected and veiled by the Mother Earth. And that's why we can't see the others. We can't see when we look through our telescopes and shit, we can't see those others living on other planets or living in other solar systems or living in other galaxies. All we can see are these physical structures, right? We know, veiled as we are, that there's something else, that there's something more, that there's something bigger, but we cannot yet see. We can hear things, we can intuit things in our dreams, right? But we cannot yet see. And the test is this life is, can Earth evolve as one so that we are now rejoined with the universal family? The veil of protection provided by our mother is removed. We are born anew, evolved, better than those that came before us. That's what evolution is. The best of what our ancestors had to offer so that we become something new, something higher, something more enlightened and evolved, right? And so, like, this, I keep saying it, I keep saying it, and I keep saying it, baby. This is that period. This is the space in between all things. This is when we talk about great leaps forward in history, baby. How we go from still to outrageous, how we go from darkness to light. You know, how one day there was no such thing, and then the next day we harnessed the miracle of electricity, how we was running around on horse and buggies, and the next day we on wheels with combustible engines. That leap forward is now, right this minute, right now, right? And so we cannot take for granted any interaction that we have with others. We have two choices in every interaction. Two, to affirm and recreate the old age, or to plant the seeds of a new and radical future never before seen in human history. These are the decisions that we have to make in a moment with every human being that we come into contact with. We affirm in all these hurt people. The whole planet has just been terrorized for 2 years by megalomaniacs. You say what you want. The virus was not the problem. COVID was not the issue of the last 2 years. We have been collectively traumatized by rulers, megalomaniacs, sickness, as displayed in the society that we currently live in, to produce the result that we are living in right now. How we live, how traumatized everybody is, how triggered everybody is, how hopeless everybody is, how easily demoralized everybody is, how distracted by foolishness everybody is, how distracted by Kanye's and Trump's and all of this madness. It is grand, radical distraction meant to continue to terrorize those who have already been victimized by the last 2 years of this ambiguous creation called COVID. The virus was not the issue. That's all I'm trying to tell you. People have not even been afforded the opportunity to heal, analyze, and recover from that shit. Not 2 months after they let us loose back in the street and we want to go partying and carrying on, they talk, not even 2 months later, they talk about threatening third world war with Russia and all of this shit. You understand what I'm saying? So we now have to take responsibility for the future. It is obvious that those that have the power and the resources to change the future for the better are uninterested, are unmotivated, are uninterested in a better future. They are interested in maintaining and continuing to widen the gap of exploitation between themselves and the rest of us. It becomes our responsibility. And I get it. We don't want to do that. You understand? We think that it is a hard thing to take personal responsibility for the future of the world. We do. And it's not. I'm just here to tell you that it's not. We are convinced through terror, through a terror propaganda campaign, that to speak out, that to become, that to put yourself forward as one that has shouldered the responsibility to change the world and to ensure a beautiful and fruitful future for the whole of humanity is to put yourself in front of a firing squad or to put a bullseye on your forehead. That ain't the world we live in anymore. It used to be, and that terror campaign has been effective for a long time. That's not the world that we live in anymore. I want to tell you, okay? And I'm trying to tell you that for me to wake up today from a dream where spirit says, why you pushing so hard, baby? Don't you remember force is not the way? It is the secrets, and the epiphany comes in ease. You understand? The genius comes when you can be still in the midst of chaos, baby. The clarity is always in the eye of the storm. The storm is necessary to move that shit out the way that don't serve you no more. But can you sit in the center and be clear even as the storm is around you? Even as the storm is around you, can you sit in the stillness, baby? Can you sit and receive the clarity that spirit has in store for you? Because once the storm ends, this shit can be yours. Victory is imminent. The future is certain. The future is certain. Now, what that future is our responsibility. And the easiest thing to do, that's why people get upset with me out here. People get upset with me out here because I don't do protest politics no more. That being out in the street, hell no, we won't go and all that. I don't do that. Now, I want to say no judgment, no ill towards those that do. I've done that for years. But that's what evolution is to recognize the exchange of energy is the output of energy yielding what the desired outcome is. Let me say that again. Is the output of energy yielding the desired outcome. And all we have to do is look at the last 20 years of demonstrations to see that the output does not equal the outcome desired. Okay? So I don't participate in protest politics anymore. Right? Y'all gonna be mad. I know you are. Somebody's always mad when I say it. I have never and will never participate in a presidential election. Not even the Negro. No, I did not vote for him either time. Right? Now, the reason at the time I didn't vote was because I was a hardcore activist, socialist revolutionary, and I took the line seriously. You can't say out one side your mouth, right, that the state is what the state is, an apparatus of coercion whose sole purpose is to maintain a divide between those who have and those who don't have. And that every institution born of the state is born and works for that same purpose. So if the state gives rise to, quote, democratic elections, democratic bipartisan elections, then how you going to participate and continue to feed energy, give validity to an institution that was created to maintain a hegemony over your life, to continue to maintain power over your life? Y'all get it twisted if you want to. I get it. Y'all gonna be mad. That's fine. This me. Can't nobody go back in my past, in my history, and say she lying, she voted for it. I have never and will never vote in a presidential election. That is not to say that I do not see the immediate power and benefit of voting in local elections, which I do. However, I have never voted in a presidential election and will never give my opposition validity. Okay? Now that's just my position. Why am I talking about that right now? Because we have to create the new world. And y'all out here getting caught up on some Kanye 2024. Y'all out here debating about Trump 2024. Y'all out here, y'all ran to the polls out of despair, baby, and desperation, and not seeing a way forward. Y'all ran to the polls to put Biden in office, knowing he was a criminal. Knowing y'all knew that so many of the issues that we have in this country are directly tied to policies he created under Clinton's administration, but y'all was so traumatized. One, he was in the height of COVID and in the height of a pandemic, so none of us were thinking clearly. You were fearful, you were scared. Then you have an insurrection at the all of this all of this noise. You understand? All this noise. And so when your boy, right? When your boy, what's his name? Old head. Oh my God, what's this dude's name? Bernie. When your boy threw in the towel, you understand? And y'all think it was an accident, child, please. Y'all think it was just something that happened, child, please. Y'all don't think it was an orchestrated move to win y'all back into the embrace of the Democratic Party through trauma and fear, child, please. Let me tell you something. But y'all ran out there anyway, demoralized. I know people out here crying when Bernie threw in the towel. You understand? People who gave the previous 4 years of their life campaigning, not getting paid to make sure that Bernie got in the office, and he threw in the towel effortlessly because he knew he wasn't going to win. He knew he ain't have no intention of winning, dear. You better recognize this institution was attempting to reaffirm certainty and security in the belief of the electoral process, and Bernie was just an instrument of that process. And so y'all did it. Even though y'all knew all the information coming out about Bernie, his past, student loans, all this stuff he done did, terrible shit he done did to the Black community, terrible shit he done did, and was like, oops, my bad. Maybe militarizing, writing the documents to help militarize the police was a bad thing. The policies that I wrote that contributed to the mass incarceration of women, oops, my bad. Right? 1 strike laws, oops, my bad. 3 strike laws, oops, my bad. That was his position. His policies have why you can't file bankruptcy on your student loans. So now you tied even after death to these student loans. Oops, my bad. He did that. Why he talking out the other side of his mouth about forgiving student loan debts? You understand? So all I'm saying about all of this stuff, why I don't vote, why Spirit woke me up about being an artist. If you only have 10 minutes to change the world, you understand? And you don't even have to see the impact. All you got is 10 minutes to say something that is guaranteed to change the world. What would you say? And then in those 10 minutes, what would you do with those 10 minutes? And I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be you standing on the mountaintop, surrounded by 8 billion people on the planet watching you at the same time. It doesn't have to be. It can be the moment that somebody comes into your cipher and you have in that moment 2 choices to make to affirm in this victimized, traumatized, triggered human being that the world is what they think it is: terrible, despairing, woeful, scary, dark, and humans are mean and mean you no good, or that there is light, that the future is certain, that victory is ours, that our mother loves us and wants us to be happy. Those are the 2 decisions, the two choices that you can make in a moment, baby. That's them. What decision are you making? What choice are you making? Did somebody cross you wrong and so you ready to, but you enlightened? You doing affirmations. You understand? You doing your daily meditations. You understand what I'm saying? You listening to high vibratory music every day, but in a half a second. And I've been guilty of it, so don't nobody be trying to challenge me. I know my dirt. You feel me? I know my stank. And I put my shit on full display for y'all on the regular. I be going, y'all see me. All y'all got to do is watch my videos for the last year. And you be like, this girl is all over the place. One day she this, one day she that. Because this is, honey, this is the deconstruction, baby. This is what evolution looks like in real time. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm out here talking, listen, y'all just go through my videos over the last year. Y'all see, I got a lot of shit talking I do about men. You understand? I got a lot of shit talking I do about movies. I got a lot of shit talking I be doing about a lot. Like sometimes I got a gripe. But at the end, baby, look, I am going through this period of deconstruction because I believe there are no accidents. To analyze, go back over every memory of my life here on earth and the magic of the circumstances that have unfolded in my life, the people that I have come into contact with in my life, the daily exposure of magic in my life, the witnessing in real time of prayers answered, dreams manifest, wishes fulfilled in real time, child. That shit ain't taking 10, 15, 20 years. Like you thinking, and it's like, oh, there it is. Whoa, right? But we have a lot of debris to move the hell out the way. And that's all of us. And so, even as we are evolving, even as we are deconstructing, even as we are, quote, doing shadow work is not to, quote, heal your shadow. Shadow work is to embrace your shadow. It is to set her free, baby. It is to open up the box that we've kept hidden in our heart and recognize that every dream, every wish, every question that we've had has a place, has an answer that has been tucked away and hidden in our heart. We have to open that shit up and put our full self on display. That way others can be comfortable and confident in their beingness, no matter what that beingness looks like in real time. Because the other thing that's tied to that is, can we relinquish, destroy forever in the fabric of humanity the spirit of judgment? That ain't no shit none of us ready to do, baby. That ain't no shit none of us are ready to do. That's the hardest part of this journey, baby, is can you relinquish the spirit of judgment? Can you let it go? Because in order for human beings to be sovereign, truly sovereign, in order for the world to be radically transformed forever, where every incarnate in this world, in this plane, has a right to sovereignty, from cradle to grave, guaranteed safety and security, and the ability to happily exist in this life, requires that we destroy forever in the memory and the consciousness and the fabric of this realm the spirit of judgment. Every crime, every crime is preceded by a spirit of judgment. The acceptance of antisocial behavior is preceded by a spirit of judgment. I've said this before. The analogy that I always use is this. It's terrible what happened to her. It's really bad what happened to her. But maybe if she would have dressed differently, that bad thing wouldn't have happened. It's really terrible what happened to him. But I mean, he is like one of those. It's really sad how those people have to live. But I mean, everybody's entitled. Everybody has access to a decent education. They just don't want to be educated. Everything wrong with the planet Earth is preceded by a spirit of judgment. Mm-hmm. Everything wrong with the planet is preceded by a judgment. Some shit that we accept that we have no business accepting because we think that someone is deserving of. Well, that's their karma. They must have done something fucked up in their past life or they wouldn't be living like this. Honey, sovereignty and judgment can't coexist, in my estimation. And I'm talking about judgment of others. You understand what I'm saying? Sovereignty and judgment can't coexist. So, do we want to be sovereign? Or do we want sovereignty for ourselves, but fuck everybody else? Because I've heard that too. Do we want sovereignty for ourselves and everybody else on their own? Everybody else on their own. You understand? Do we want freedom for ourselves and damn the rest of the world? Like that can actually be. Like that can actually be. Now look, I have been, had been a hardcore Black nationalist for a long time. The most of my political career, most of my political, understanding has been centered in Black nationalism. You understand? Now I've continue to do, quote, revolutionary solidarity work with other colonized people. But for a long time, my line was race first. You understand? My line was, we ain't got no friends. And even as circumstance, I just had this conversation with a homegirl of mine yesterday, baby, just yesterday. Because I was like, man, fuck this shit out here. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody want Black people to show up for them. Everybody want Black women to show up for them in space, to validate their shit, to validate their work. But when it come time for me to ask one favor of the people who I have supported in the 4.5 years that I have been here, can't get one motherfucker to show up. Fuck that. I ain't doing no more solidarity work. Knowing good and damn well that's a lie. That ain't me. That even as others do not reciprocate, it is still my responsibility as an evolved human being, constantly at work on myself, constantly deconstructing old ways and triggers, to always be demonstrative in my behavior. What I say, I believe out of my mouth. Do you understand? That what I do and how I move in the world has to match what I say I believe. Otherwise, I'm a liar. Otherwise, I'm an opportunist. Otherwise, I'm just looking for, photo ops or some madness. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm always hypersensitive to that. That even as a lot of my relationships are not reciprocal relationships, I get it. I don't allow myself to be traumatized by people anymore. I stay in a place where I am always one who is learning lessons, because the lessons are that people are unhealed, that the world is sick. This is me, the healer, right? Even as I'm an activist, right? Even as I'm an artist, this is me, the healer, always intervening. What is it that you're experiencing in real time with human beings right now, Iapo, Cassandra? Is this the reaction of collectives of traumatized human beings attempting to protect and defend themselves in a world that they feel is out to get them, out to do them harm, out to endanger them? So can you take this personally, this experience that you're having with this person or this group of people, knowing, stepping into, again, every situation, recognizing, one, that we are witnessing a collective, a global population that is still in the full impact of 2 years of collective trauma. One, this is the healer in me. I have to see that. And I have to move in a way where I can be shrouded, where I can be protected, where my little girl needing to be protected, triggered, defended self is not responding in the same way to what I know is a currently active, traumatized global population that have been provided and afforded no answers and no way forward in order to heal. How do we heal from the shit we just moved out of? How, as a human family, do we identify what the hell just happened to us, what it stemmed from, what it came from, and what is it teaching us about how to move into the future? And I know that that's not happening globally. So for the last couple of weeks, I ain't gonna be lying. I haven't been on social, I haven't done a live in 3 weeks because I have been here in my feelings. A lot of the times, angry about what I had been experiencing as personal attacks, personal offenses by others, people who I have supported, people who they ask me to do something and without question, damn near without a second thought, I I am like, what do you need for me to do? How do you need for me to show up? What skills do I have that I can galvanize to make what it is you are doing successful? And don't think twice about it. And the one time that I did this wide thing about needing people to show up, not for me, for some shit I was supporting, for someone else, crickets. And so I've been up in this mug for a couple of weeks, like in my attitude, in my feelings, in my triggered self. You understand? And so when I talk about doing readings for others, and every time I do a reading for somebody else, Spirit's like, this for you too. Don't be just telling him he can't be moving from his old self that needed to be protected, that needed to be on the offensive, that needed to be defensive every time somebody say something cross to you. Don't just tell him that. That's for you too. That's for you too, Iapo, Cassandra. That's for you too. You understand? That you are who you are. You are your mother's daughter. Dear, why would you question that? Why would you question that? You are your mother's daughter. You are doing the right thing. You are doing exactly what you came here to do. Exactly. So do not, in a moment where you only have two options, descend into trigger response. Descend, revert to your old injured self after all this work you done put in. Child, after all these meditations you done, out of all these ceremonies you done been in, where I done came through in full fucking exposed glory to tell you, yes, baby, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You are exactly who you are supposed to be in this moment. You are your mother's daughter. You are flawless, even in your flaws. Huh? If I am God, Cassandra, it means you are God. Huh? Child, I'm telling you. And so I had to come up on here today. I'm still going to be in here producing art all day. But Spirit was like, not before you need to say what I have for you to communicate on this day, baby. Because we have a future that is not only certain, people, it will be with ease that we move into this future. All we have to do is be present right now. All we have to do is recognize that we are all our mother's children. Mm-hmm. And our mother, being God, can only give birth to gods. Y'all ain't heard. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all are not ready for that. Your supremacy has you believing something else. Your supremacy mentality still being based in trauma, being denied self and face, right? Being denied the ability to develop a healthy sense of self, a healthy ego, as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing used to say, right? And I get it. I get why. I get why we move from a place of supremacy in response to the world that is being presented to us in any given time. You understand? But even when I talk to you all about, about Mother Earth as God, Mother Universe as God, and the descendants of Mother Earth being women as God, and women giving birth to God. You see, so even when I talk to men about men, there is nothing that I say that should elicit an injured, triggered you by what I say. If I say, as a Black woman, I am God, your response should be, yes, you are, because I am God. God can only give birth to God. God can only give birth to God, right? God can only give birth to God. And we are all our mother's children. We are. And if we can accept that, if we can do away with um if we can do away with the idea of supremacy, if we can let go of the spirit of judgment, right? That, listen, I'm going to just say that does not mean, let me not even go there. Because what I'm trying to tell you is that the future that we are creating right now. The future that we are creating, that I am telling you is certain. I am telling you is certain. We are creating right now. When I talk about, there's a song, I mention it all the time, when Bob Marley was singing about he was basically singing in this song the speech that Kwame Nkrumah made when he became the first the first president of independent Ghana. And he said at the end of the song that we are confident in the victory of good over evil. That's what he said. That's what he closed the song out with. We are confident in the victory of good over evil. Are we? That's the question. Are we? Oh, my bad. Okay, that was Haile Selassie of Ethiopia's speech. Okay, better. We are confident in the victory of good over evil. Right? We know we shall win because we are confident in the victory of good over evil. Right? Thanks, Abasi. Do we believe that? One, do we believe we can win? Two, do we know we can win as we are confident in the victory of good over evil? Are you confident in the child? Look, are you confident in the victory of good over evil? Does your behavior on a daily basis exemplify that confidence? In every action, in every interaction, with every human that we come into contact with, is your behavior demonstrative of one certain that we can win because we believe in the victory of good over evil? It ain't the grand scheme of shit. It is the brick building. And it's not the formed brick, it is the grains of sand necessary for the formation of the brick. And the formation of the brick becomes the foundation for the building. And the formation of the building becomes the basis for the town or the village. And the village becomes the basis for the city, and so on. But the sand, the individual grains that are the 8 billion of us necessary to construct the new world, how do we interact with each other on a daily basis? And is it exemplary of what we say we believe? That's all. That's all. You understand? And I'll tell you one more thing about this certain future that we are creating in real time, and why we cannot bypass this thing that I'm talking about. We cannot bypass our daily behavior, our daily action. Does it match all the time? Does it sync up with what we say our beliefs are? Does it? We can't bypass that little thing. Does our actions match with what the hell is coming out of our mouth all the time, every day? Are the grains of sand that will construct the new world, the new society, the new town, the new village, the new city, right? We can't pass it. You feel me? Now, I'm going to tell you, we look at society, we look at all the way that we think the world is wrong and bad and terrible and shit. You feel me? But this world that we currently exist in, this paradigm that we currently exist in, we built. Our belief helped to construct it. Y'all, that's some hard shit to sit with. We built it. You understand? Now, whether that personification happened as a consequence of the current colonial age, right? Or the previous age of patriarchy, the previous phases of patriarchy since its inception, right? Doesn't matter the different phases of this thing that is now the apex of what we're experiencing. We have to accept that we have been active, whether by force or otherwise. We have been the active participants in the building of this thing that we say rules and dominates us all. It required our energy, our power, and our belief in it. It does. That's why propaganda is necessary. It generates belief. Belief generates behavior. Behavior generates action, baby. And if you believe we ain't never gonna win, then guess what? Your actions are going to be in alignment with that. If you believe in, quote, the man, and the man who is, supposed to be this figurehead for those in power, those with all the loot, those who sit in the castles and shit like that, and you give this energy in this, well, the man gonna do this, and the man gonna do that, and the man did this, and the man did that. Guess what? Your beliefs are going to be in alignment. Your behavior is going to be in alignment with those beliefs. That's why propaganda is so important, baby. It's not innocent. I get a lot of criticism for my analysis about the depth of propaganda and the way that it exists today, but I will not digress from that. Be careful with what you watch and how you watch it. Yes, entertainment is fine, but nothing is innocent. Nothing. You understand? And so I say that to say this. It's just to assure you that this paradigm that we currently live in, we participated in creating. And if all the wealth that exists on earth we created, and all the opulence that people are enjoying we created, and every building that you see, every castle that you see, every sign of wealth and abundance that you see was created by us, why would you be fearful of a future where we rule, where we are the owners, controllers, and creators of our destiny, guaranteed? Now, we want to reduce ourselves and our significance with labels like the workers. I am not a worker. That's why I'm not a socialist anymore. And y'all know I used to be about that life. I used to believe that shit. I got the red star tattooed on my fucking face. I was about that life. I was a diehard socialist forever, forever, and ever and ever. Even as the whole time Spirit was like, and I was like, no, I'm a socialist. No, I'm a socialist. The socialist revolution is the only way forward. Spirit was like, this is just a phase, baby. This is just some information you need to know for the now. Do not internalize this as your way forward. There's some information. There's a little bit of science up in here you need. You understand? You need to understand historical and dialectical materialism to a degree. You understand? You need to understand the difference between qualitative and quantitative change and transformation to a degree. You understand? It's going to help you understand some things as you evolve, but do not swallow this shit hook, line, and sinker the whole time, right? And so I don't have no problems struggling with young socialists because this is the only idea put forward for them as a way forward. I am not a worker. I am God. I am God, having a material experience that is necessary in order for me to evolve, in order for me to rejoin the the universal family, in order for the veil of my mother to be removed so that I can see all of these signs, all of these symbols, all of this information, all of this education, all of these experiences that I have been seeing, that I've been hearing, that I have been having, even as I cannot see, they're going to be revealed once the veil of my mother is removed. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I ain't being I'm not trying to be like, I just want to be clear. I say all the time that every skill, every desire, every passion, everything that we incarnate with is an instrument necessary for the fulfillment of our destiny. Everything that we think, oh, I love to dance, so I'm going to be a dancer when I grow up, and that's it. That's where we stop that statement. Dancing is the instrument, is a tool given to you by your ancestry to communicate to others something that is going to uplift, enlighten, and embolden them to help fulfill their personal destiny. Every skill, no matter how seemingly inconsequential that skill is an instrument necessary for the fulfillment of your destiny. That's why shadow work is so important. There are so many secret heart's desires that we have kept tucked away from the public because we are fearful of judgment. That's why we keep them tucked away, because we are fearful of being our full, whole selves, because society trains us that way. You have to be duplicitous. You have to be this person in the world and this person behind closed doors that even your family do not know, right? You have to, those secret passions, those secret heart's desires that you have, that shit is not going to make you any money. You need a real grown-up job. Even as I had a full scholarship to college for music, my mother was like, baby, you're going to eventually need to go to nursing school. You're going to need to be a nurse. Because I don't see no way you're going to make no money as a musician. You understand? And that's not to condemn my mother. My mother is wonderful. But she was a pragmatist that is a byproduct of this society that imposed its will on her and snuffed the art out of her, you see. So this period, the shadow has to live, baby. Not only the shadow has to live, the shadow is where the secrets of our success are. That's what Spirit woke me up on this morning. Like, bitch, what do you mean you struggling? What do you mean you sad? What do you mean you grieving? Where is your art, girl? Where is the thing that you slipped away to when you were a child? Where are those things that were second nature to you that you ran away to? In those moments of imbalance, in those moments of disharmony, what did you sink your spirit into in those moments where somebody tried to deny your whole humanness? That shit is still with you, Cassandra. That shit is still with you. Not only is it with you, baby, the ease with which you give spirit to these things, give life to these things that you have kept tucked away for almost 25 years. This is where the secret of your leap forward is going to be, girl. You are an artist and always have been. You are a musician. You always have been. You are a singer. You always have been. That is the meditation that was handed to me this morning when I woke up out of bed. I ain't write that. I ain't even intuit that. I woke up this morning with that in my brain, loud like a freaking bell in my ear. Why are you struggling? There is no need for you to be struggling. None. It is the ease with which, the ease, baby, is where epiphany comes from. You know that. Every time you go dancing, what happens? Something comes down on you and you got to stop what you're doing and write it right there in the club. Child, look, where my book at? Hold on just a second. I'm about to bring y'all some shit. Because people be looking at me at the club all the time like I'm crazy. People be looking at me in the club all the time like I'm crazy. And, I called it my ADD. You feel me? I used to call it my ADD for years, where I cannot study in silence. I can't. I tried. I cannot study in the quiet. I cannot study in silence. I can't. But epiphany, breakthroughs, baby, wonderfully magical ideas come to me more than any other time when I am dancing. And so I had to start paying attention to that because I like it so much that I won't remember. So I started taking journals in my purse every time I go to the club, every time I go dancing. Baby, I will have break. I don't need substance. People, listen, I've done that. I've done ayahuasca, I've done mushrooms, I've done acid, sitting ceremony on substance to have breakthroughs or whatever. I do not need that now. I'm telling you. And so I go into a club, I'll be dancing in it, sweating, and then something comes crystal clear. And so I have to sit down. I got my little lamp that I carry in my purse with me. I have to sit down and start writing fast before it leaves, before it goes away. Right? Books of chaotic notes, of epiphany that just comes. This is all from dancing. This is it. That's it. That's all club. That's all music. That's all dancing. Books and books and books. Filled to the rim. Filled to the rim. Books. And this is just since I've been here in LA, these books. You understand what I'm saying? Books and books and books. That ain't all. Hold on. Here's another one. Books and books. Oh, shit. I got shit falling out of it. Books and books. Ideas, epiphanies, breakthroughs. Every time I go dancing, right? Why am I telling y'all this? Because I'm thinking, books and books and books. I won't open this because it's got a lot of stuff that's going to fall out too. But books and books and books. The Spirit's like, I keep telling you, all you have to do is be happy. All you have to do is be in a state of bliss. All you have to do is fully let go, relinquish control. Stop trying to force epiphany. Stop trying to force breakthrough. It is when you are the happiest. It is when you are the most blissful. It is when you are completely out of control that I can inhabit you, that I can shine light on you, that I can tell you and show you crystal clear the way forward. So why don't you just do that? Just do that. You understand what I'm saying? Spirit woke me up this morning like, girl, you've always been an artist. Why are you struggling? Girl, and when I say an artist, I mean that, right? Not just an artist, and like most artists, some artists are led by head. I don't think that's the many. But you can witness people's art and feel their spirit, palpably feel their spirit in it. That's how I have produced since I was little, 5 years old, 6 years old, little, right? And so Spirit was like, I don't understand why you're struggling. Now you done galvanized all these skills, all these experiences, and here I am reading to someone today. His first card was the strength card, the healing card. His third card, his second card was the Three of Stones. You see? The Three of Stones. You see the picture there? Right? And the third card is called Gathering Together. It is about two things. The gathering together of those things that I'm talking to you about that woke me up this morning. You're at a period where you have to recall the gifts that you came here with, that shit that you've tucked away, that shit that you've moved out of your conscious mind, that shit that you have not given any energy to that is begging for it. That shit that you have tucked away because you think it's not what grown-ups do, or it's not that narrative that you accept, that ain't got nothing to do with you, right? So it is about gathering together your experiences. It is about gathering together your skills. It is about gathering together those that you have brought into your life, you have willed into your life to ensure the fulfillment of your destiny. That's what they're in your life for. Whatever role it is they play, whether it's lesson teaching through, whatever, or whether it is support and affirmation. The people that you've willed into your life are for the fulfillment of your personal destiny. That's what it means when it says that everybody that's in your life is a mirror of you, is a reflection of you. What is it that they're showing you in a moment? And they're either showing you what you need to move forward or what you need in yourself to let go of so that you can move forward. But everybody, everything, every skill is about the fulfillment of your personal destiny, right? And that destiny is not to become a dancer. That destiny isn't to become a singer. That destiny isn't to become a world famous musician. Those are paths to the fulfillment of destiny. Those are opportunities to communicate to the whole that our destiny is linked and the same, even as it expresses itself 8 billion different ways. These things, we get sidetracked, baby. That's the noise. These things are attempting to teach us that we are about to be collectively reborn, and we better get ready. That's what destiny is. It is to go from unseen to seen. This veil, this veil that I'm talking about that makes the rest of the universe invisible to us, like we aren't surrounded on every planet, in every star system by hundreds of trillions of others. But we cannot see them. Why? Because we have not yet been reborn. We have not evolved. We are still in the unseen, shrouded by the veil, baby. And I'm just trying to tell you, one of two things is going to happen because the future is certain. One of two things is going to happen, and we, every single one of the 8 billion of us, is going to determine what that future is. And in every moment and in every interaction with every other human being, what we are going to determine and what we are going to create and the future that we are going to ensure is certain is a recreation of the ails of the past or a radical leap forward into a future yet imagined. That's it. That's it. Now we can draw up blueprints, plans, strategies, plots, and all of that about what we want the future to look like, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, in the moment, every day, we are creating the future, and we are only creating one of two outcomes. It's that simple. We are only creating one or two outcomes. A reproduction and recreation of the ails of the past, the woes of the past, the injuries of the past, the hurt and harm and distress of the past, the trauma of the past, by talking about it all the time, belaboring it all the time, treating others from that place all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. Affirming in every human that we meet and come into contact with that this shit'll never change because I treat you like the world has treated me. I treat you now the way the world has treated me. Or that we see ghosts all the time. We don't ever allow people to evolve because we don't ever forgive them. We don't ever let them move away from, evolve from the ghosts of their fucking past. We don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Well, he on that spiritual shit right now, but I remember when that month did X, Y, and Z. I remember how he used to be. Right? So, every moment, one, does our actions in the world line up with our beliefs, what we say out of our mouth? Two, are we creating in real time, the now, all the time? The now is the future. The now is the future. The now is the future. In the now, right now, in every now, from here for forever, in the now, are we creating the future that we say that we want to see? an age without oppression, an age where every incarnate is a totally sovereign part of the grand whole, completely illuminated, veil removed, magically evolved? Or are we recreating the ails, the trauma, the victimization, the horrors of the past? That's it. Does what you do in the world, is what you do in the world demonstrative of what you say out your mouth that you believe in your mind? Was that clear? Does what you do in the world exemplify what you say out of your mouth as indicative by what you say you believe in your mind? What you see and believe in your mind, is it demonstrated in your action in the world? If you want to see the new world, right? You want to see this beautiful, wonderful, exciting, blissful, harmonious, new existence for the whole of humanity. Is your daily action matching up with that? Is your daily action matching up with that? Oh, shit. And that means we all got work to do. But it's not hard work. It's just mindful work. It should be exciting to hear this. It should excite us to know that grains of sand are as important as the city built. Grains of sand are just as important as the city built. We are the grains of sand. And without us, the city could never come into fruition. It can't. The society could never be made whole. It can't. And if we see all that which is around us, all the wealth, all the abundance, there's always enough. As a matter of fact, there's always more than enough for the entire whole. Right? And so we have to say that as the entire whole, when I pray for something for myself, I pray for that something for all others. I don't just say, Spirit, I want what I want with no harm coming to others. I say, Spirit, I need abundance. I want abundance to come through in my life because you got this big ass mission that you got me on. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need some things to be certain in my life. Food, clothing, shelter. I don't want to have to think about that because in my mind, that's wasted brain space when you got me out here, studying and deep diving into these things that you want me to communicate to the whole. So I'm gonna need you to free up that brain space that would otherwise be occupied with things that it should not be occupied with. You understand? Like food, clothes, and shelter. You feel me? And so, but I say at the same time, I want that for all of us. I want the genius that has been held captive, the genius of women that has been held captive by this social system. I want those things, food, clothing, and shelter, to be certain for these women so that their genius can flourish. You understand? These people of color, these marginalized people around the world. I want those things to be certain that are necessary for us all to collectively leap forward, for us to evolve. You understand? That's what I pray for. I pray for our collective, whole, harmonized selves to leap forward together. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want to see manifest quickly a world where happiness is guaranteed to my grandbabies who are very young right now. I don't want them to know ever a life of struggle or unhappiness because their mother is struggling. You understand? So that's what I pray for all of us, because it exists in real time. That exists. Not can, it exists. There are no such things as poor people. I reject it. I reject it. You understand? People are not poor. Their wealth has been stolen. There's a difference. People are not poor. Their wealth has been stolen. I just told y'all we created this. All the opulence, all the wealth, all the abundance that exists in real time right now, we all came together to create it. There is no such thing as a poor person on the planet. Not nowhere. Their wealth has been stolen. That's it. And so that gives us a different perspective and worldview with which we have to approach the future. Not looking, because when we say people are poor, then that's a judgment that we've made. And then following that judgment is a behavior that we participate in that is typically hierarchical and has us look down on that person. We don't think about it that deep. We don't. You understand? But that's what it is. That's what it does. When some, quote, person whose wealth has been stolen, not a poor person, when a person whose wealth has been stolen to the degree that they do not have the security of food, clothing, and shelter, ask us for money, there is a judgment that precedes our action and behavior. Even if we, quote, give them $1, it's usually, hold on, and hand them some, there's a judgment in that act, and there is something that we have communicated to them in their value in that moment. I'm guilty of it. I ain't gonna front. I'm guilty of it. There is something that we communicate with our nonverbals in that moment to who they are and how we value them or don't value them. There's a judgment that precedes all of that. There are no innocent behaviors. There are no innocent glances, baby. I'm just telling you, it's that deep. It's that deep. It's that real. And it's our responsibility. Every single one of us. There are no, honey, the age of heroes is over. There are no heroes. There are no heroes. We are all responsible for changing the world. Every last 8 billion of us is responsible for changing the world. That's it. We can't be looking for no rock stars, you understand what I'm saying? No heroes and shiny red capes and shit. None of that shit. No bright and shining man in armor, none of that, no soldiers and captains in general, none of that shit. It's our job. That's what we came here for. Spirit ain't handing out blessings and skills and opportunities just so we can exist. I'm sorry, you can. I'm not, and that's the other thing. I don't debate. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But I'm just telling you what it is. You can't say nobody told you. I tell my daughter that shit all the time. What you ain't gonna be able to do if you've watched this, if you've ever watched me, is to say, I didn't know. Nobody ever told me. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. To say that we are one is to acknowledge that we have a future that is one. We have a future that is one. And while its manifestations may vary the gamut, our future is connected. Our future is the same. We are creating it in real time, every moment, all the time. You understand? And if you are in an interaction with another human being and that interaction is not one that plants a seed of certainty, not hope. We don't hope for the future. The future is certain. Not hope, certainty. And if you are not planting a seed of certainty that abundance is ever existing and is ours and our birthright, because our mother loves us and wants us to be happy and wants us to be ecstatic, because in her spirit and in her mind, joy and ecstasy and bliss is the only true manifestation of gratitude. Child, you hear what I just said? Do you hear what I just said? Mother continues to provide abundance beyond imagination, because in her mind and in her spirit, the only true manifestation of gratitude is our joy and our happiness and our bliss and our ecstatic dance. Like, yes, this shit is amazing. I live on earth. The goddess stays good to us because she's our mother and we are her. Anything less than that is a lie. Anything less than that is a lie. Anything less than ecstasy is a lie imposed on you to extract your power, baby. I'm just giving you the word, honey. I am just giving you the word. Why? Why did she wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning talking about, girl, why are you struggling? Why you up in this? Why you locked in your apartment for the last 3 weeks sad and shit? Girl, you an artist. You always been an artist. Why you playing? Girl, you a singer. Why you ain't singing my praises to the many? What the fuck is wrong with you? Girl, you have always been a musician, descended from artists and musicians, and you out here, quote, struggling. Girl, get your ass up and create some shit today and stop playing. And make sure you turn the music up while you doing it. That's how she woke me up this morning. Why? Because what happens with your own mama? When you are hurt, your mother is hurt. When you are sad, your mother is sad. When you are crying or injured, your mother feels that in her body. Your mother feels that in her body. But guess what? With your mama, I'm talking about the mama that gave birth to you in this life. When you are giggling and happy for no reason, her whole body feels that. Her whole body feels that. It is difficult for a mother whose baby is laughing and ecstatic and playing in the mud and happy just because they exist. They don't have to have a reason. They don't have to create affirmations. They don't have to write down manifestations about how I'm choosing to be happy today. These babies are just happy. The personification of what it means in the real world to live in gratitude. That's what our mother wants from us. That's why she's constantly giving, constantly giving, constantly giving, constantly giving. Because she just wants us to be happy. That is the true sign of real gratitude. Is, can you live in ecstasy? Can you be grateful just for being, for the majesty and the magical gift that is life on earth? I'm telling you what I told you about an hour and 42 minutes ago. Earth is standing out in the universe, baby. The whole universal family is awaiting our collective evolution. I'm telling you that. They're like, come on, y'all. You know, like we the babies, right? We blinded by the veil. We ain't made it out yet. And the universal family is everybody in the room. It's the midwife, you understand, who's giving us signals, coaching us along the canal. Ooh, coaching us along the canal, cheering us on. Come on, baby, you can do it. Come on, mama. Come on, get ready to meet your new human. You understand? All the noise we've been hearing the whole time mama been pregnant. People laughing around mama, spoiling mama, rubbing her feet, all the experience, the light and the dark that we see through her belly and can't see nothing, but we know we're surrounded by something. This is the universal family waiting for us to evolve, to come out of the darkness, emerged anew. We will not be able to see those around us until then. But this is a move we got to make, baby. This move we got to make. Ooh, child. And we got to do it with joy, baby. We got to be happy. We got to do it with joy. We got to do it with a spirit of certainty. When we in our mother's womb, we just are. We exist perfectly and we just are. But guess what? As soon as we arrive, we know how to smile. We know how to laugh because that shit feels good in our body. And then our mother responds with laughs and smiles and squishes and hugs and kisses. And so it affirms in us that happiness is the norm. That ecstasy is the norm. That's our foundation. Most of us, that's our foundation. Is laughing and blissfulness and happiness and feeling good in your flesh. Feeling good in your flesh. Your spirit is made light when your body is happy, when your flesh is happy. Now, I don't want to get on a whole nother sermon about how we have turned our flesh into a prison that we need to escape in order to ascend, because that ain't it. That ain't it. Our flesh has to be ecstatic and happy and grateful in every moment, and certain that our flesh is just as much a part of the body of God in the universe as our spirit is. Mm-hmm. We have to accept that. And the only way to accept that is to acknowledge that our mother is God. I say our mother, I mean it singularly, and I mean it individually. It's the one thing that binds us all. We all have a woman who took it upon herself through a blood covenant, through a sacred water baptism, to assure that we had a destiny that needed to be fulfilled. So she said, yes. Yes, spirit unknown to me, I will allow you to come through me so that you could have this very real and necessary material experience. Do you understand? So that you can assist in our leap forward. You understand? And to ensure this covenant that I am making with you, I will baptize you in my water and consecrate your crown with my blood, baby. So I will end there, and I will just end with what I asked you in the beginning. In every moment, in every interaction, with every human, picture yourself atop a mountain, surrounded on all sides by the 8 billion of us incarnates on the planet Earth. And we are certain that what we say will transform the planet, but you only had 10 minutes to say what you need to say. What will you say? How will you use those 10 minutes? And let that be the thing that guides every interaction that you have with you. Oh my God, that you have with every human being. Just like I said, baby, whenever I have a message for y'all, Spirit is like, you know this for you too. you know you ain't done deconstructing your shit, boo. This for you too. You understand? So thank you all for tuning in. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you are watching from Facebook, please make sure you go to my YouTube channel. I still need a ton of, everybody's watching my shit, but ain't nobody subscribing. You understand what I'm saying? I need these people to pay me so that I can free up the kind of mental space that I need to continue, child, in my peculiar path of world changing. Like I said, we all got it. Our destiny is the same. Every last one of us is here to change the world. That's it. Every one of us is here to ensure the evolution of the human family, of the human one, of the collective. Every last one of us. This is my peculiar path, but I'm gonna need these people to pay me. You understand? So if you're watching my shit on Facebook, go to YouTube. You can search Cassandra Faye Floyd. And I think you can still search Iyapo Ngina, Iyapo Ngina. Like, subscribe, share, and make a donation. So there's information on how to donate, there's information on how to subscribe, so on and so forth. Look through some of the other stuff. I know that I have a bad habit of making my videos long, but when Spirit come through, it's just what it is. I'm gonna start trying to like cut them things down and make shorts later, but no matter how long they are, what I'm asking people to do, because I still need a ton of watch hours too, is even if you're not listening, even if you're not sitting here watching my beautiful face, turn my shit on, let it play from beginning to end, even if it's background noise, even if you're just washing the dishes, even if you're asleep at night, say, you know what, I'm going to turn on one of Iapo's videos and I'm just going to mute it. That's fine. That's fine. Let my shit play so I can rack up my watch hours. You understand what I'm saying? Play it on your way to work, and if you stuck in traffic, you feel me? There's something for you here. There's something for you here. There's something for you here. You know what I'm saying? So I've just posted a bunch of videos, like 4 videos, I think, that were from a workshop that I taught at the beginning of the year on the Pluto returns, which we are still in. There is something for you there. Yes, the videos are long because this was an active workshop. Some of the videos are 2.5 hours. Some of them are 4.5 hours. Like we went the hell up in. They're all unedited. So whatever is there is just what's there. I'm not trying to edit them right now. I got too much other shit to do. But yes, watch the videos, listen to the videos, even play them on mute just so I can get my watch hours up. I appreciate it. Please, please share. If something here spoke to you, please share it with someone else. We are all experiencing the same thing, this collective trauma that we need answers to. This collective experience imposed on us by those in power for the last 2 years that we need solutions to. I am telling you, there is something for you here. There is something that will feed you here. There is something that will make the haze clear here. So share this with someone that you know is in need. Share this with someone that you know is in pain. Share this with someone that you know their spirit needs to be fed. They need a message of certainty. Certainty in the victory of good over evil. Certainty that the future is ours for the creating. It's ours. There are no powerless, only those who do not remember. There are no powerless, only those who do not remember. There are no poor. There are only the abundant who have been robbed. That's it. We are abundant. We are powerful. We have to remember. And remember with the certainty of the imminent victory of good over evil. That's all. And our behavior is the dictator. Our action in response to our belief is the dictator for the future that we want to create. That's a powerful, powerful message Spirit has for y'all today. That's a powerful message. If you're an artist, be fully that, because Spirit has a gift for you in it. Spirit has a gift for others in your gift. Spirit has an awakening, child. If you are a singer, if you are a dancer, child, even if you a pole dancer, I ain't got no struggle with it. Even if you an exotic dancer, I ain't got no struggle with it. Your gifts are yours to share with the many. Can you use your gift? Can you allow your gift to be a conduit through which Spirit imparts ecstasy, joy, and bliss on the lives of others? You understand? So, I think that's all I have for you. Embrace ecstasy today. Embrace art today. You understand? Unleash, untie the knot on the box that you have held hostage in your heart and kept away from the many for fear of judgment. Open that box and let the gifts pour out like the contents of Pandora's box. You feel me? Okay. Because the epiphany that we are all awaiting are hiding in that box. The answers, solutions, wishes, prayers, the answers are hidden away in the box that we've kept tucked away in our hearts. You understand what I'm saying? That's what shadow work is. Shadow work ain't dark. It ain't ugly. It ain't deep. It is your whole self begging to be seen, begging to be unimprisoned and unleashed so that we can finally solve this shit once and for all. So now I'm really going to stop. All right. Inbox me. You can email me at releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. releaseheartcenter@gmail.com. You can also hit me up on my social media, which is Cassandra Faye Floyd on Facebook. It is Daughter of the Fates on TikTok. It is Daughter of the Fates on IG, as well as Release Heart Center on IG. And it is Iapo and Gina on Twitter. And then here, please again share my shit so that I can go ahead and make this money and and pave the way for this future that I want to see create. I know I see crystal clear the future that I'm trying to create. And that means I need to be reconnected with my abundance, baby. My stolen abundance, I'm gonna need to be reunited with my stolen abundance. You feel me? So help me do that. Okay. All right. I don't know when I'm gonna come back. It's been a few weeks since I've been on the live. I don't know when I'm coming back, but I had to give you a word today. Peace, power, prosperity, gratitude, abundance is ours, victory is ours, the future is certain. This is the Daughter of the Fates, Cassandra Faye Floyd, and I will see you again soon.